So we're gonna stop tracking and counting episodes, okay? We're done with that. Today is episode new one. So new episode today. We're talking about a possible lawsuit in Alabama. Uh, it's just a player getting cut, and he's mad. He's mad that he's getting cut from the team and not gonna play for them. A couple UFL quarterback battles. We gotta discuss two: who they are, where they came from, past professional experiences, records, and stats they hold. So we're gonna talk about that. Uh, Arizona Bandits merch. Shout out to the Arizona Bandits, best AF1 team. We got a lot of football to talk. Baltimore Lightning to talk. Seventh expansion team to talk. Toledo team to talk. A lot to discuss, and we're gonna hop right into it. It's on Spotify, on YouTube. Give us a like or not, but we're gonna hop right into it. A little bit of rapid fire presented by no one, but rapid fire. Two defensive player of the years, Braylon Speaks and Frank Ginda, both re-sign with the Michigan Panthers. But at that cost, we end up losing a 2022 USFL defensive player, Chris Odom, who decided to not come back or return to Houston. Now, what does this mean for Houston? Not a lot, because they're still really great. And it's not really going to do a lot. Cameron Dantzler, welcome to the Memphis Showboat Yacht Club. This team sucks. It's going to suck regardless who's at the defensive back position. So thanks for helping us suck a little bit less. Birmingham Stallions signed former NFL third-round pick Ronnie Perkins. And the Arlington Renegades have re-signed defensive end Willie Clark. Notable names who are not going to return for the 2025 season: Dion Kane, Marcel Aitman, Delonte Scott, Davin Bellamy, interesting words, Lavert Hill, Gene Harris, and Devion Smith with Darius Victor. Now, those players probably will not sign, but that's our UFL rapid fire presented by probably somebody soon, but no, I'm kidding. That's not going to happen. So we're going to hop right into the next thing. Next, the Spring King himself, Luis Perez, is writing a book and announced that it'll be published on the 26th and 27th of March, just a few days before, 2 days, I should say, before the season opens, and a couple days before his 2025 season opener. The Spring King, a book about Luis Perez and his football journeys, as he announced on Around the UFO podcast. Pretty good podcast, but I'm probably going to buy this book, and I'm probably going to read it because it's about my guy Luis Perez. So I feel like that's very exciting to see, and I'm going to look forward to that moving forward. Valley Ironman have now started recruiting for position coaches. Coach Manny posted out on Twitter saying that they are recruiting on the 26th. Plus, Amir Howell, offensive lineman, has signed with the team. So another offensive line, utility 2021 draft prospect, O-lineman added. They got 3, which is pretty cool. I guess, they got the guy Terrell West running through. So some good lanes and some good players. And they're also recruiting position coaches. I could see him bringing somebody who maybe coached in the FCF, someone who probably CFL talent. Maybe they bring in one of these UFL position coaches or former position coaches that were coaching back then. I asked a question on my story saying, offensive and defensive players you're most expecting the most from. One name that jumped straight into my mind was defensive back for the Caballeros, Kassan Abraham. Kassan Abraham played his collegiate ball at Rutgers, comes out of the draft, no pro day, whatever, goes nowhere. Hey, he's ready to play, he's itching, he's dying, he's putting the work in. Well, he's in San Antonio, and I've seen the film. I know who he is. I've seen the film. He looks good. Terrell West, another name. I've seen the film. He's gonna look good. He looks like he's in shape. He looks like he's ready to play, and we're gonna, see something crazy. Anybody on that, San Antonio quarterback Chris Barrett, man, I'm looking forward to see Chris Barrett play. I'm looking forward to seeing him compete with Nate Hayden if there's gonna be a competition at all. I'm looking forward to this whole quarterback competition. Jeremy Hunt, I know, might not end up taking a snap at the starting position at all, but we don't know. I've been vocal about this quarterback competition between Nate Hayden, Chris Barrett, and Jeremy Hunt. So who are we going to see at, week 1? Probably Chris Barrett. But depending on the way this moves, I don't know. Those are small names. James Franklin hasn't played football since 2020. I'm so eager to see who's actually going to be this James Franklin. Is going to be some old washed James Franklin, or he's been like, hey, I've been in shape this whole time. I've been throwing the football every single day, and he's just ready to come out and play. That's so much fun. That receiving corps, Saeed Sidibe, so excited. Looks great. Justin Prostanak looks so great. They look incredible. Arizona Bandits again. Also, another guy I was on Arizona's Akil Greer. Very excited. Another guy on Ohio Valley is Asai Scandy. They've been slow with that defensive line, or that defensive unit in general. Also, that defensive line, they haven't signed anybody yet. And this brings concern, because I would be excited for a ton of Alabama players, but they haven't revealed who they're actually bringing in, and they got some names, but I can't really reveal who it is. Of course, they just cut all their guys who, I stated earlier, they're gonna come into minicamp and not looking good, and they're gonna get cut, and they're gonna blame Alabama. And it's got to the point where there's a lawsuit against Alabama because of defamation. With this lawsuit, I don't think I need to touch up or even say anything. But this shouldn't be a thing. It's something about name defamation and him not receiving any money because he was cut, and saying that I have over 30 screenshots of proof and personal 5+ screenshot involving random persons mentioning me, someone who follows me. I also never signed anything for the Alabama Beavers to claim that they are my property or athletes / they don't have a roster, and never did because minicamp isn't here. That email is very false and personal, and my main fight I have spoke against with legal representations. My reach total on social media is over 7 to 8 million in the last month. I have Alabama Beavers and IFA in my bio for months, and I have been seen by hundreds and thousands, and I have proof of that. And it's more of, why? You got cut, and you're seeking legal reason because they have your name. I'm not gonna reveal who this is, but he didn't even give a full reason to why. There's no full it's obvious that he was cut, that a lot of Alabama players that were cut, and this is one problem that they're gonna face for the next probably 2 days until minicamp, really. But he didn't get that minicamp sign. I think the biggest deal is they probably should have done this after minicamp to say, hey, you're out of shape, unless he was in incredible shape. But man, I don't understand. I really don't understand what's going on. He doesn't give no clear reason, and he just says defamation and use my name. And I was like, a lot of teams use people's names and don't pay them a thing, and they have them on. This is normal without spring football. Sorry, this is normal within spring football, I should say. I don't think that he's gonna. I don't think anything's gonna come out of this. I'm not gonna reveal who's suing Alabama Beavers. I don't know why you would want to. But that's enough of that. We're going to move on to what's next. Next, I got 10 players. 10 players who think are going to be selected in that IFA draft. Now, I'm going to have people probably, actually people listening, but I'll say people are probably going to be like, man, this list sucks. I can make a better one. Then make one. But we're going to start off at number honorable mention. Danny Trejo, punter, punted at Texas. Very cool guy. Very great punter, nice person. Carlton Aiken Jr., quarterback, played over in the ELF last year, actually has an official draft invite. Half of these players I'm going to mention have official draft invites, and the other half I'm like, hey, come recruit these guys. Next, it wouldn't be spring football without running back Trey Williams. Trey Williams has not been in the UFL. He got cut from Memphis last season, so what would be a better place for him to go? the IFA, start off a new league, come play international. And I think that this would be great for spring football, considering they have, that big name as Trey Williams. And everybody knows who Trey Williams is. Next is wide receiver Marcus Taylor. Mark Twain, probably the best free agent receiver for the UFL right now. Last year played with the Harrisburg Stampeders, very talented receiver. Another is Jazz Ferguson. Ferguson has something with the Renegades. Like there's interest for him to return back to spring football, but this would be the best place would be in the International Football Alliance. Played over with the Seattle Sea Dragons back in 2020 and in the XFL with the DC Defenders in 2023, but that was shortly lived. Next is wide receiver Deontez Alexander, former wide receiver for the Houston Gamblers and played over in Canada. Has been a free agent for a minute, so I'm pretty sure this would be one place where this would be like he'd heavily play. Is Bryson Young, played his collegiate ball at Oregon, spent some NFL time, and played with the USFL Generals back in 2023. He's been out of spring football. Probably might not return to the USFL or UFL. I don't know why I keep saying that. But he would be one name that you could look for. And next is John Warren. Spent a little NFL time. Free agent. Come over here playing the IFA. He's one of the draft invites that they announced. Juan Lua, defensive back. Looks very talented. Looks very promising. Number 3, we got Isaac Harker. I said on my story, Ethan. Some people laughed at that, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of funny. But it's Isaac Harker, quarterback who played for the Canadian Football League and most recently played for the Billings Outlaws. And when he played the Billings Outlaws, won a championship ring right there. He won a championship with the Billings Outlaws, and he has not resigned. They got Braden Wiggle back. He hasn't played anywhere or isn't playing anywhere, so the best place for him to go would probably be over in the IFA, any of these teams. Another is quarterback Levi Lewis, played collegiate ball over at Louisiana Lafayette. Not a lot to say about Levi. Went with the Seahawks. Something about the Breakers. Something about Canada. Goes out, plays the season in the ELF. Doesn't really work out. He's fresh. I'm pretty sure he could be a great asset. He's a really great quarterback. The one problem is his size, but size does not really accept or translate well at all ever. Right? No. Small quarterbacks exist. So Levi Lewis would be a great option. And finally, I just left him in here because he's not on the team, but back-to-back IFL champion Dalton Sneed is still a free agent, and some teams could take him. Sound the sirens. This is breaking news. If you're just finding this out from me, you're doing something wrong. But EJ Perry has been cut from the Michigan Panthers and now being signed by the Memphis Showboats. And yes, if you discovered this through me and I'm telling you this news, you're doing something wrong, because I should not be breaking this news. But as XFL analyst or James Larson had posted, that EJ Perry had been cut by the Michigan Panthers and signed by the Memphis Showboats. So what this means for Memphis, they got a quarterback competition between 3 mid quarterbacks, and what this means for Michigan is it narrows down their quarterback room between Bryce Perkins, Danny Etling, and EJ and Rocky Lombardi, not EJ Perry. But if you discover this news through me, that's sad. But EJ Perry, Quentin Dormady, and Troy Williams will be the quarterback room. Expecting, I'm gonna think it's gonna be EJ Perry starting week 1. Also, offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, and coaching staff have been announced, but I will address that in videos, and I'll give you high quality, high effort. But this kind of makes sense for Michigan to grab him. I wanted Birmingham to grab EJ Perry, because I feel like if it's anyone who could bring the most out of EJ Perry, it would be Coach Holtz. But hey, too sad, too bad, But sound the sirens, alarm of the episode. New thing where I say breaking news. And if you're discovering this news through me, what are you doing, man? I should not be breaking this news. This is not Raphael Samarkov news breaking. I'm breaking on the IFA though. No IFA signings yet. A few Dallas players, but I haven't seen Dallas post anything up front, so I'm gonna hold off on that for now. That'll wrap it up for another episode. These episodes are getting shorter, but hey, you guys keep listening, so I'm glad with that. But that'll wrap it up. Talk a little IFA. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Final words to say thanks to everybody who's listening on Spotify, everybody who's watching on YouTube. You guys have been a lot of support on the shorts and on everything. So thank you to everybody, and hey, take care.